I gotta wait. How long I gotta wait for a press record?
Go.
Welcome to the stand, where Miss Dream always has a story.
It's Dream, and we got a season 2. Your Black Bostonian here, a product of a single mother who I work to make proud every single day. I'm a 3-degree holder, your veteran educator, your tech entrepreneur, and founder of the Chair platform. My platform is dedicated to supporting Black and Brown people on their hair journey by creating hair boards, connecting to hairstylists, and sharing haircare tips for a more joyous experience. My podcast is about sharing hair stories, educator stories, entrepreneurship stories, and stories surrounding identity with goals to leave you laughing, learning, and advocating. So come in and listen to the stories in the chair.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Devin. Devin, can you please introduce yourself?
Yo, I am so excited to be here. My name is Devin. I am from the city of Chicago, and I am a startup founder, first-time founder. I built a platform called Tenacity. It connects college students to project-based work at other startups. And I'm excited to share my journey, to share, just what it looks like and how it's grown and evolved, and then also how Dream has played a role in that. Because we have a mutual, yeah. I don't know if you noticed, or at least may not give you all the credit enough, but yeah, you played a role in that, sis. So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Oh, I'm excited for you to be here.
And I guess I'm curious for you though, too. Like with that in mind, how do you manage you personally the stress of trying to figure out, all right, what am I like? I'm collecting this data, I'm collecting these stories, I'm seeing these moments. Like, how do you manage the mental strain of trying to solve a problem or trying to figure out what this is? Because that can be one of the more frustrating and anxious moments of a founder's journey, in my opinion.
Yeah. For me, I write everything down, but I don't write everything down in columns and rows, unfortunately. I write everything.
Might be a good thing.
I write everything down on Post-its everywhere. And so going back to my puzzle, I feel like I'm building this multi-layered 3-dimensional puzzle. And so I have a whole bunch of notes that don't connect at the moment. I have a whole bunch of notebooks that have different elements of different thoughts I have. But being a teacher, what I started to recognize what I'm doing is I'm building multi-level lesson plans. I'm building projects for myself to relax my brain, because I learned in business school, they said, fall in love with the problem. But they say, it's something that you enjoy is when you think about it all the time. And that's where I'm at. And
can't get it out your head.
every day, all the time. I have a job. I'm thinking about the podcast while I'm working. I'm writing notes as I'm getting up in the morning. I'm dreaming about it. So for me, I'm writing everything down. It's helpful because before I used to not write anything down and it would just swirl in my head for a while, and I realized this isn't helpful. But I think I was frustrated because when I have a problem, I want to solve it, as you know, but I wasn't solving anything. So I'm like, this is a waste of time. But it's not a waste of time. It's helping you figure out the next step. If it wasn't for all of my notes, I wouldn't have went to that accelerator, because I've been to 3.5 accelerators. And so I just keep going to them because I'm like, I'm going to learn something new. And so I go and I learn something new. I meet a new person who just gives me something else to think about. And then I'll come back and I'm like, oh, this is addressing the sticky note from 4 months ago. Oh, this is addressing the sticky note from yesterday. If it wasn't for all those sticky notes, I wouldn't have ended up here. But for me, it's a bunch of journaling And I don't write in complete sentences either. I have a bunch of bullet points everywhere. But I've started to learn that a lot of bullet points are the same. So then I can group them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this keeps coming up. So this is the next project I need to focus on. So that's what I do at the moment to relax my brain. But then also I talk to people. Just talk to people like, hey, what do you think about the podcast? Are you getting value from it? Are you learning? What does it mean to you? With that information, I'm learning, okay, this is the right direction for now. I love it. I love what I do. And also, people are loving it. People are telling me that they're gaining something from it. I'm like, okay, I'm building this community in this way. And then eventually, I can go back to the platform. One project at a time for me over here.
Oof, that's real, and I appreciate you sharing that because it's helpful to hear other entrepreneurs, leaders, especially thinking about spaces and journeys that sometimes don't equate to like immediate dollars. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to build something that I can sell to Walmart for $1 bajillion, and that's going to be the end of my story. Like,
Yo, that is true. Yeah, one of my professors in business school. Because, I went to business school not to run a business, not to create a business. I went to business school to study racism. So I really just wanted to dive into books, look at
wow.
frameworks, really understand how we think about education and how education affects how we teach Black and brown kids. So this, again, another side quest. If you told me 10 years ago at Lake Forest, I never took a business class. I've never entered into that building. And so I'm doing this and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, I'm curious now. Now I got to pull the string. I got to follow the map. I got to do it. And so I'm doing this over here to the left while I'm still doing education to the right. I'm still doing my internships. I'm still doing all this stuff. But hey, there is really this one thought over here in this corner that's really bothering me. So I'm following, I'm pulling, I'm doing all this stuff to see something, to get somewhere. And that's okay. Now I've learned that is okay. It's not a bad thing. For me, I thought it was bad because I was like, well, this was never on the list for me, ever. Yeah, entrepreneurs are cool, but I never saw myself as this type of person. And there's a part of me that has to be okay with that. Is learning. I'm still learning.
I'm listening and I'm like in awe because I relate to that heavily, where it's like going into something for one reason, coming out completely lost, and then feeling a pull to the new thing, to doing something that's completely like a different side quest almost. And it's like, wow, didn't expect this, but here we are falling deeply in love with the idea of solving something that to me feels so amazing and so like, man, if we cracked the code, we really did something. That's crazy when you have that burning desire. It's like, all right, well, I know I've got to do it. Like, I've got to solve this.
Absolutely.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Look, it's my commercial. We will be right back.
It's more than just a bad hair day. It's a journey. Finding the right hairstyle isn't easy, nor is finding the right stylist or the right products. Looking in every corner of the web gets messy, overwhelming, and exhausting. All the ads, the articles, the products, the videos, it shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And now, it isn't. The Chair. A black and brown centered platform where you can design hair boards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a new, joyful path on your hair journey. Avoid the clutter, save yourself hours, months, and even years of research and poor trial and error. Everything you need and only what you need is in one place. Hair boards made by people like you for you. Find the right products, the right people, the right answers for you, stress-free. Join the Chair community and make every day a great hair day. When you share your pain, you allow others to help you. And when you share your success, you help others get theirs. Lean on the Chair. We got you. No stress, no strife. In the chair. The chair. The chair. All right.
We have been talking about entrepreneurship and the world of being a beginner in this field. And there's so many levels to that. And I'm also curious to know about your hair journey because there's so many levels to that as well. Do you remember the first time you fell in love with your hair?
Yeah, only because it was recent, like literally within the last few years. And it's funny enough, because to your listeners, I am bald. And so I'm bald, but I also have a pretty nice beard as a result, too. And the reason I've fallen in love with it is because it has shaped my identity and my confidence. And that was so critical to this journey because one, before I was before I was content with hair and lack thereof and being a young 20-year-old with no hair, right? But I didn't have enough confidence to say, like, oh, this is who I am, this is my identity, and I'm living with it. And so you deal with a whole bunch of the insecurities that come with that. Like, all right, man, it's challenging enough to be comfortable with who I am. I already feel like, I'm at a disadvantage. Now I don't got no hair and like it's just weird and uncomfortable. And as I kind of wrestled with that, it helped me really understand like, okay, there are going to be aspects of your identity that you're going to have to just come to terms with and enjoy and fall in love with in order for you to pursue the bigger goals. Because if you're getting tripped up with your image and your lack of confidence related to it, how in the world are you going to manage being a leader, being somebody that has to make tough decisions in spaces that you may be uncomfortable with? And so as I started to let go of my like concern and fear for how I looked and what was perceived and really just kind of like live and embrace it, the more I kind of realized like, oh, it's actually cool. Like, bro, you're growing into this space, you're growing and maturing, and it's looking good and it's starting to take shape. And not to mention, coincidentally, I imagine my beard was coming in pretty well too. And so now you got a little bit of shape into it. And you compound like the confidence that I just recently acquired, plus the ability to see this beard shape up. And suddenly you got people saying, like, oh, you look good. And you walk with some kind of strut to you that, like, it's noticeable. And it's not just because I have this beard and bald head, but it's because I've learned to be confident with how it took shape and what it means for me. And so I was like, man, I'm glad that the glow up happened as I was embracing if it didn't glow up or if it wasn't what I thought it would be. And so, yeah, I've recently fallen in love with it. And yeah, you can't convince me otherwise. I look good.
This embracing, did the embracing happen because you were just in so many different rooms and it became a distraction? I'm curious to know when it started to click for you. Was it because you had to be this strong entrepreneur persona to get things done that it affected how you walked into rooms?
Yeah, I'd say that it definitely had a little bit of that to play because this was the embracing journey started before I thought I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so it's in the space where I'm still in the business school. I'm still believing that I'll be a partner at my former job. And so with all of those things and expectations, I really don't have a lot of time to devote mental space to other anxiety inducing topics. Like I'm in school, I'm working full time. I want to continue to advance my career. I want to continue to make strides across all aspects of who I am and my identity. That's stressful enough. Now I can't just be sitting here thinking about this insecurity that I have no way of fixing. Like, what am I going to do? I'm not buying a sew-in thingy to put on top of my head. So it's like, why are you stressing about this? There are bigger fish to fry here. And the minute that I realized and just became comfortable with saying, I have bigger fish to fry. Let's get that done first, and we can worry about your insecurities later. Was when I started to notice that, like, all right, confidence levels are rising, and the confidence in turn made how I thought people looked at me change. And I really think it's because I kind of let go of this, oh, you're too young not to have hair, and you're too, like, this is not gonna look good. And it's like, all right, bro, pick a battle. Are you gonna complain about hair? Or are you gonna complain about the projects that are due at midnight? I'd rather complain about the projects that are due at midnight. And that helped. That helped tremendously.
Mm, yeah, so you have to pick a fight. You just, you just gotta
You gotta
decide.
pick a fight. It's like, man, yeah. The older you get, it's like, all right, is it worth dying on that hill? Is it really worth all of this? Are we really going to be any kind of different if I'm going to choose that this is going to be my battle and this is going to be the focus area for why I'm stressed? Come on, there are so many other things that I need to be stressed about or need to devote my attention to. This ain't one of those.
The chair.
Oh, and if you're interested to learn more about my experiences as a Black woman and educator in Guangzhou, China, I wrote my first ebook titled Nowhere and Everywhere: Captured Emotions of a Beautifully Broken Love Story. It is on lulu.com. Take a read and see some beautiful photography of mine. Enjoy the rest of the show.
The chair.
With the full beard that you have, that you love, and you being the very, very sharp dresser that you are, and I know you go to church every Sunday, has your style evolved because of the mentors and the spaces that you're in with the suits and the beard? Are you feeling like you're developing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's funny because uh, I don't actually wear suits as much as I used to. And so it's been cool because there's a little bit of duality with my style now where I've gotten into, like, don't get me wrong, I will put on a nice suit. I own about, God, I own more than is normal. So I love a good suit. But on Sundays, I go to a church where we're fairly casual, and we dress casually. And so most Sundays, I had to learn, like, okay, what does a casual Sunday look like for me with embracing my hair, embracing my beard game, and also like not having to worry about it. And so wearing hats and building fits and styles around what I wanted that to look like. And now that I'm also an entrepreneur and a founder, I don't have to always look business professional. And so, what does that style look like when you can really chart your own territory and your own kind of like look for the day, while also embracing who I am. Like I like to think that I enjoy fashion a lot, and so I'm gonna never just go out and not feel comfortable with what I got on. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, in order for me to have a productive day, I have to be fairly comfortable with the fit and with how it looks in order for it to work out for me. And so I'd say that, like, it's helped a lot because now that I'm confident with my look, with the beard, with just generally how things have shaped, I can add a lot of versatility into how I show up on the day. And so there are days where I'm like, yep, I want to look like Daddy Warbucks and walk around with a whole bunch of three-piece suit, all in all, like Oxford shoes and all that stuff. And I want to make that look good. And then there are other days where it's like, well, I want to look like I just came off the streets and went to a concert and I got on this hoodie and joggers and I want that to look good. And I think that it all goes back to that level of confidence that was built once I let go of my own personal concern or irrational thoughts about my own hair.
Someone who
Crazy.
for someone who started going bald early and now has embraced his baldness, what would you say to other black men who are in your same boat, who may not have had a beard yet?
Yeah, I'd say it truly comes down to just being confident in who you are. Like, I think that for me, it got to a point where I was looking at myself and feeling so uncomfortable that it it was starting to impede on how I showed up with friends, with family, with work that I needed to do. And if I'm not able to adjust or fix something, I just need to embrace it. Now, if I am uncomfortable with how I look physically, there are things that I can do to fix that. Like I can change my diet or I can change my workout routine to accommodate that. But if it comes to like receding hair or just going bald, it's like, okay, am I that concerned about it to the point that I will make the alterations like those solutions that exist, like a Bosley or like the hair growth surgeries? Is it to that extent, or can I really learn something out of just being willing to say that this is who I am, this is my identity, and embrace it and see what happens from there? And I think whatever decision you make, as long as you make it and feel confident about it and growing your confidence, people will notice and it will be apparent that you are who you designed yourself to be. And that's going to be attractive to any person because you can tell when somebody's walking confidently.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. You said that I helped you with.
Yeah.
Explain this, please.
Yeah, I think that, and if it's okay for me to list some folks,
Yeah.
I think that you, Periana, Ola, and there was one more person, Tyrone. When I got to campus, and you all were all older than me, or a year ahead of me, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
it was a space that I hadn't been familiar with. So up until that point, I was only in many diverse spaces. So I knew spaces that were Black, white, Latin, Middle Eastern, Asian. And so I was very used to seeing a lot of diversity. At the time, we went into a space where there wasn't as much diversity. And so I was sitting here saying, okay, how do I, who do I want to be? And how do I show up and get comfortable in this new territory where it's clear to me that I am one of a dozen, half dozen men in that space, in this particular space. And so grappling with this, trying to figure out what my identity should look like, how it should shape, it was a lot of those early conversations freshman year when you all were introducing UBA, when you all were having socials and opening up. And particularly, there was one time where I don't know if you remember this, but it was right around new student orientation and we're on campus and you and Periana came up and just had a random conversation with me sitting. I don't know that I was sitting alone, but I wasn't really talking to somebody. And so Periana was dressed in her cheerleader fit, and you came over alongside of it. I was like, who are these two beautiful Black women who don't know me, clearly upper class, and freshman year, you just kind of like trying not to look stupid and just immediately embracing me. And y'all came in with so much like care and kindness and made me feel like, all right, you should take advantage of Lake Forest. Change your paradigm about it. Yeah, you're here. You're probably one of a few, but that opens up so many opportunities for you to leave your mark and make your mark. And y'all were saying something along that effect, maybe not quoted verbatim, but that initial conversation that you all shared with me while I was sitting there eating was about leaving your mark and like deciding that this is going to be who I am. And here's how I'm going to make Lake Forest my own. And I sat there and was like, okay, I'm going to make Lake Forest my own. Like I'm not just going to cruise through these next 4 years and not have an experience that I think I want. And that opened up the door for me to really kind of embrace this idea that, okay, I'm going to run for leadership positions and I'm going to be active because, truth be told, I was not, and to this day, I'm really not as social as I may come off. If it was up to me, I would not have been super involved in campus or kind of done some of the things that we talked about. But it was through those conversations where it's like, okay, I need to make a conscious effort to not feel handicapped if I'm going to be here for 4 years. And it was that initial conversation. It was conversations that I'd have after the fact with like you, Ed, Shrivers, and just the older leaders who made it work. Like it wasn't just this abstract idea. I was seeing you all make it work. And I was like, okay, there's a blueprint. And so because there's a blueprint, I can follow that. Because it's been done before, I don't have to recreate the wheel. And that's all I needed to know in order for me to just kind of make it a thing. It's like, all right, that's it. I got it from here. And so, yeah, if you hadn't did that, probably would have been a little more unwilling.
Oh, I'm glad I was able to give you something positive. Didn't know.
Yeah,
I
beyond
didn't know
positive.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, truthfully, and it's funny because my peak or my kind of like, all right, I'm going to really make this my own, came after sophomore year. Freshman year, I was scared. I was just very scared. It was like, I don't know this environment. I don't know these people. And I don't know people that look like me enough to feel like I can do this. And so a full year of having role models made it make sense. And then you get a Raphael who pops up and doing the journey with you. It's like, all right, that's enough that I needed that. Now we can really take this on and be great. So yeah, I commend and associate a lot of my success to the support system that I had at Lake Forest.
Wow, that's so kind. Thank you.
Of course, it's true. I'm not. Yeah, it's true. I wouldn't lie. It's very true. I'd be completely different if it wasn't for that push that y'all gave. For
Uh,
real.
I'm here. Well, thank you, Devin, so much for sitting in the chair and sharing your stories. I truly, truly appreciate you coming on.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure. Like I said, I am so invested in what you're doing. I listen to the podcast. I enjoy it. I enjoy all of the folks that you bring on. And it's fantastic to see how we're all connected, how we all face similar challenges, and how we all uniquely adjust and roll with the punches. It's encouraging. And so keep up the great work for real. Legitimately, we need you in this space.
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dream always has a story.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Chair. I'm going to share with you a dream of mine. I would love to be on Sesame Street. Sesame Street held my hand through childhood. In my dream, I would be in my big afro or rainbow braids sitting on the stoop sharing hair stories. I would like your help, please, by doing all the things like leave a review, share it with someone who would benefit from hearing this episode. And if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone at Sesame Street, share your favorite episode with them, and I'll make you some of my famous chocolatey hot chocolate. I hope you have a beautiful day, or if you are like me, still up in the middle of the night, I hope you take a deep breath and rest. Love you. Talk to you later.
The chair.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Dream, hello. I just wanted to tell you you're wonderful. I just got through going through your podcast. Love you, love you, love you, love you. Keep it up. Maybe I need to send it to Oprah and Tyler Perry. Love you, baby. You are great.
Where we share stories in the chair.